I just want to remind you when the meeting starts to hit your little speaker so the red light goes off.
You only have to hit it once, right? Just for one speaker? Or do we all have hitter speakers?
Oh, no.
One. That's
So actually, we'll be in charge down here.
Okay.
One last thing.
Let me text Kevin, see if he's coming on. And I don't see Brian up there. He's gonna, Brian should be up there.
Oh, he's away.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it was, it's rough.
Oh, sounds recognize. Ready to go.
I'm set once. I'm just doing December. And Christmas Day.
Are you ready to go for the film?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like timed it perfectly.
Sorry, Kevin's walking in right now. Not that far.
So Satan is tomorrow. Satan is tomorrow.
They might represent it to me.
And then it will be
2 weeks later.
days from there. And we'll be in the gym.
Except the old girl.
Are you saying?
It's all pretty well. Don't worry about it. It's something you can look up your head. Seriously, we don't need to know. It is what it is.
All right, put it there.
Because you're not going to let us do it if it's not.
Okay, that's the job.
Are you logging in? Okay. Thanks. Bye. Bye. There it is.
You guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. Oh, that's it. I was like, that was good.
Can you hear us?
Chris, Mark, you guys hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Awesome. Yes, sir.
It's going to be the after.
Hey, Sam, you look very small from here, buddy.
He said you look very small.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
So we got a full house, everybody's here already?
Yeah, everyone's here, Mayor. We got 1 minute.
Give another minute, we'll sit.
All right, 7 o'clock.
All right, good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming out to tonight's council meeting. I am obviously dialing remotely, still on a business trip, so thanks for accommodating. We can start off with our Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This meeting is now called to order. In line with the Borough of Seabright's long-standing policy of open government and in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, I wish to advise that adequate notice of this regularly scheduled meeting was sent to the Asbury Park Press and other local newspapers on January 4th, 2021. And each date, time, and location of this meeting were provided in the notice. This meeting is open to the public. Roll call. Councilmembers Birdsall.
Here.
Booker.
Here.
Catalano.
Here.
Giller. Lamy.
Here.
Lexi.
Here.
And Mayor Kelly's call. All right, first up, again, remarks from the audience. If there's anybody in the audience who'd like to be heard, just please state your name and your address, and you've got 3 minutes to address the governing body. Would anyone be heard tonight?
Murphy Anderson, 8 Center Street. Who's got the 3-minute timer? Okay. One of these three things is true regarding 8 Center Street. Either the council is willfully ignorant, the borough administration and legal counsel keep them in the dark, or lastly, they truly don't care 1 iota about the people living and suffering in their town. Suffering due to the borough's actions followed by their inaction and refusal to accept responsibility. In response to former Councilman John Schwartz's mischaracterizations of the borough and of their offer to help, I read you from our blog, "The council's veiled threats or will destroy you out of our home" is the title. After filming the council workshop meeting October 10th, 2019, I was approached by a fellow Seabrighter and council member, John Schwartz. Up until this day, I had never met or spoken with Mr. Schwartz. That changed as we rode together in the elevator. He introduced himself to say that he was glad to have the opportunity to speak with me alone. For a moment, that part of me that always believes the good of others thought to give him a chance. He seemed sincere. After the prerequisite niceties, I was able to boil his point of view regarding 8 Center Street down to the following, and I paraphrase statements: that we got screwed by the builder, we got screwed by the engineering firm, we got screwed by the town, we got screwed by all the lawyers. T&M told him it would only cost $70,000 to repair our house, later $135,000. They did not tell him that of the 3 contractors they had provide bids, the one they chose was 50% less than the other 2 more qualified bidders. The town is completely unwilling to pay for the repairs themselves. The town is completely unwilling to compensate us for damages they caused us. The council and the borough feel no responsibility towards us. They feel that they're on the legal high ground and that any action they take is a favor to us. They feel no moral responsibility, at least any that would expose them financially. We should take anything they offer us and move on with our lives. We should move out of Seabright. We, the council and administration, have privately discussed throwing you out of your home since you don't have a CO, certificate of occupancy, and that we would just fix it as we see fit. He ended with, "I'm on the council until the end of my term. I'd like to help you." Sounds good. He then went on to relate a story about his father that was intended to help guide us from our foolishness, telling me how his father would spend a small fortune to prove a penny point. I responded that some injustices are so egregious, so outrageous, that you have to stand up and fight for what is right, even if it means martyrdom. The sensibility fell on his deafer than my ears. Where are we at?
31 seconds, sir.
31 seconds. So, Mr. Schwartz and the council, just keep conspiring to remove us from our home as you take another shot. Destroying our lives wasn't enough. Take another bite at the apple. The fact that the borough attorney is not present became enraged with our questioning of funds to repair our house. The fact that he nearly boiled over when we asked him where the funds would be kept speaks volumes about what's going on here, what you guys are not being told. The contract they sent us, it was crossed out. The contract they sent us was crossed out in blue. They tell you that, Chris. I got it.
All right, thanks, Murphy.
Thanks.
Anyone else to vote tonight? Anybody online?
No, Mayor.
All right, hearing no one else, we'll move on to our consent agenda. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve this meeting's consent agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, Mark. All right, Jack. Councilmember Birdsall.
Yes.
Booker.
Yes.
Catalano.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Lamia.
Yes.
Alexi.
Yes.
All right, consent agenda's been approved. We're on to new business, vouchers in the amount of $421,225.56. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve this vouchers?
I make a motion.
Second.
All right, thanks, guys. Councilmembers Birdsall,
Yes.
Booker,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Lamia,
Yes.
Alexi.
Yes.
All right, the voucher was approved. Just a quick announcement, the Borough Council is in receipt of the 2020 municipal audits. All right, we are already on to mayor and council committee comments, and then after that, we will basically break out for an executive session, and that will be the end of the public meeting. So with that said, is there anybody in council would like to speak regarding the committees?
Mayor? Oh,
Yes.
just a few mentions. A few of us, Kevin and Jack and I, walked the town with DOT to look at the crosswalks from Monmouth Beach up to pretty much North Beach. Shrewsbury was about the end, anyway. And that project is funded by DOT and being evaluated, and basically they told me that it would take 2 to 3 years, but we gave them a lot of comments and feedback of what we saw when we walked, and they will add that back into the binders and then share that with us and come and talk to us about it. So that's good news that they're going to do some improvements on all the crosswalks in our town.
Specifically down for the mid-block.
They said mid-blocks, but half of them were not mid-blocks, so they need to go back to the drawing board. There's going to be a lot of changes in that touch. But all in all, I think it's good. The state, New Jersey wants to be the premier safety crosswalk representation in the country, so we're part of that. Good.
That's great, Joe. Thanks for sharing that.
Mayor,
Yes, sir, it's Jack.
just also on safety, I talked to the police chief and to Jim McHugh about using electronic signboards to, I bring up that specifically because with the state highway, there's some restrictions on the signage, how you do it and all that. With the electronic signboards, you put up a message to alert motorists and pedestrians, if you will, to the high number of bike riders now going through Seabright. I'm hoping with that signage, we can get a little more awareness on people's consciousness. They think about when in town there's a bike, high-use bikage. Because I think most of the people coming through Seabright have no view, no opinion, no feeling, no anything about bike riding. I hope this helps a little bit. Thank you.
I hope so, Jack. Yes, it's a dangerous stretch, especially downtown, right by the Russell Bridge in particular. It gets so narrow there. You know, hopefully it's a better way, but it's definitely a dangerous highway. Anyone else have to speak for the committees?
Mayor, I asked the administration for some information regarding some of the enforced insurance policies that the borough has in place as we come to the year end, just kind of getting an inventory of that as we look towards next year and looking at various RFPs, professionals, and all that. So, want to make sure that we have that information as we deliberate on various appointments for next year. So, that's in the works.
All right, that's great. Sounds good. Thanks, Jeff.
Mayor,
Anyone else?
yeah, Mayor, from
Yeah.
administration purposes, if everyone was watching the news today, there was a big story of the federal government relieving a lot of federal disaster relief loans from Sandy. And basically all these communities all around us were relieved, completely forgiven from their loans, so they don't have to pay them back. We wanted to confirm that Seabright was not on that list, and we just wanted to confirm what the story was. And we were reminded, which we knew, we just wanted to make sure there's nothing else outstanding. We actually, because of our excellent administration and our the people who have been monitoring Sandy loans for us, we were actually forgiven 3 years ago. So we don't have any loans. So if anyone asks you, hey, was Seabright forgiven in this latest round, you know the answer is that we're actually all forgiven 3 years ago. So we owe no money, that's why we're not on the list. And that was double confirmed.
I didn't hear the story.
Yeah, it was big news today because like Atlantic Highlands and Highlands, their mayors are all over the place. They're crowing about it because we're Seabright, we were ahead of the game, of course.
I have to do my best.
And thanks for noting, Mark.
You're welcome, man.
Yeah, that's a good note. All right, anyone else have any updates? All right, that's
I'm sorry.
Public meeting. Go ahead, sorry.
I don't remember, Kevin. It was a lot of money, though, but I don't know how much it was off the top of my head. It was 3 years ago. but yes, it was a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money came into Seabright at the time. I know that. I just don't
Full
remember.
amount.
Yeah.
What?
100%.
It was 100%, right. There was nothing left. And that's what I was clarifying today, just to make sure there was nothing left over, and there was nothing left over.
Yeah, the correct number is everything, right?
Yeah.
All right, thanks everybody who came out. It was a very brief public meeting. The next we're going to break for executive session, and when we come back, we're going to break for another litigation, and then we're going to have an internal meeting afterwards. So this is essentially the public portion. Thanks again for dialing in or showing up. And with that being said, would anyone like to make a motion to enter the closed session? All right, thanks. Council members Burnsall,
Yes.
Booker,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Hewitt, Lamia,
Yes.
and Lexi.
I'll abstain on that, Mayor, based upon the fact that I previously had a conflict in that discussion. I no longer do, but in the interest of consistency, I will continue to abstain on that matter.
All right, understood. Thanks. All right, thanks again for everybody who came to tonight's meeting. And aside from that, once the rules clear, we'll proceed with executive.